Hello, everyone. Happy to have you for this today's session. We will be discussing how Werner optimizes its product data with Quable and with the help of Xngage team. So let's wait maybe a couple of seconds before we start. Let's wait for the final people to join in. I'm gonna wait just 10, 20 seconds. All right, we can start. So, happy to be with you guys, Gabby, Joe. Maybe we can do a little round of introduction for everyone. So, giving you the mic, Gabrielle, could you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Gabby Snyder from Werner. I'm the e-commerce product data specialist on the marketing team. I kind of focus on all products and their data on our website, on our e-commerce website. So managing our PIM to help ensure product data is accurate and ready for customers to purchase online.
Excellent. Thank you, Gabby. Joe?
Yeah, my name is Joe Albrecht. I'm the CEO of Xngage, and we implement PIM and e-commerce, and we have been working with Gabby and, of course, you guys at Quable to build this solution.
Yeah, excellent. And on my side, I'm Baptiste. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer and one of the co-founder at Quable. So we provide PIM and DAM software for our customers. And I've been very, very excited and happy to work alongside Gabby for a bit more than a year now. And with Joe and his teams on this project, Xngage being our first partner in the US. So it's a good story here. So maybe we can introduce first Quable, the technology, and Xngage, and then focus more on what brings us here. Focus on the Werner Electric project, ambitions, challenge, and how we implemented it. So let's start maybe with Quable. So about Quable, we created our company back in 2013. Back then, there were solution out there to manage product data, to manage assets, but they were solutions that were very heavy, IT heavy, very complex to set up, very complex to maintain as well, and usually expensive. And so we wanted to provide the first PIM and DAM solution in full SaaS mode, in full software as a service. And with the help of my co-founders, François and Sylvain. So François comes from a background of IT engineer, and he's been working in experiencing those product data challenges where he was working for one of the biggest high-tech retailer in France, and Sylvain in the biggest marketplace in Europe called pixmania.com. And so they faced this challenge to mitigate product data to serve different channels with an always updated and accurate data. And so that's why they decided to create Quable as it is the first platform combining PIM, the PIM world, so all the textual information, but also all the assets, so photos, videos, and everything. And so we are very proud. After 2 years of research and development between 2013 and 2015, we launched the product on the market, and now we support more than 400 brands worldwide. We manage over 1 billion piece of data every month. We have thousands and thousands of users everywhere. And yeah, it's been a great story so far. And so for those who don't know what's a PIM and a DAM, I'd just like to focus on this slide. So what is a PIM and a DAM? Well, the idea is really to retrieve all the data that already exists within the company's IT ecosystem. So for example, plugging an ERP software to a solution, plugging supplier data, photos, video, Excel spreadsheets, technical data sheets, and so on. we gather everything into one place. And then the idea of our solution is to provide a very user-friendly solution for each and every people in the marketing team, e-commerce team, sometimes purchasing team, legal team, quality team, so they can work together to validate the content, enrich content, translate content, and once the product data is ready to be pushed on each and every channel of the company, well, we push them seamlessly onto any kind of outputs, can be e-commerce, websites, marketplaces, apps of any kind, customer service, point of sales, catalogs, distributors, and resellers. And so that's the PIM and the DAM. PIM stands for Product Information Manager and DAM for Digital Asset Manager. Now it's time to pass on the mic to Joe and describe a little bit about Xngage.
Yeah, real quick, Xngage is a purely B2B focused digital services firm. Together with my partner, we founded it 10 years ago, and ever since grew it to serving 80% of distributors and 20% manufacturers in their digital needs. That includes e-commerce implementations, PIM implementations, and of course, all the heavy lifting and plumbing between these systems, between the ERP systems. And that's also how our journey with Werner started. We worked for a long time, for many years together on the e-commerce side, and we were very excited to get into the PIM project together with Werner and help them with the process that we will discuss it a bit more here.
Thank you, Joe. So Gabi, introducing Werner Electric Supply. What about Werner?
Yeah, so Werner is an electrical distributor and solutions partner that serves Wisconsin and Michigan. We operate across the construction, industrial, and IT markets. We support a wide range of brands and manufacturers, which means managing very large and constantly changing product catalogs. So many of those SKUs do need to be published on our website, and historically ensuring that product data was accurate and complete in our previous PIM required a lot of manual work. So data came to us in different formats and different times, and it made the process really time consuming and inefficient. So as we looked for a better solution, Xngage introduced us to Quable, and we did a bunch of testing and requirements gathering, and it became really clear that Quable could really address many of these challenges that we were facing. So after that, we started the whole implementation process with both Xngage and Quable.
Excellent. And so could you give us a little bit more details about the context in which you felt the need of moving forward with the PIM project?
Yeah. So like I mentioned before, we support a lot of those different brands and manufacturers. And with that, it's around 62,000 plus different products that we feature and support on our website. So to get data for all of those products, we are subscribed to the AD PIM and the IDEA connector, which are just two really big product data repositories. And so in our old PIM, we would do a lot of exporting of data out of those repositories, cleaning of the data to align with the fields in our old PIM. And then we would do a bunch of importing multiple different field or files like the attributes, assets, categories. So again, it was extremely manual, very time consuming, and we were really just in need of a PIM that could integrate directly with these data repositories and automatically pull all of that product data into our PIM.
Exactly. Could you, maybe for those who don't know AD, which is very specific to your industry, provide us a little bit more details about AD?
Yeah, so AD is affiliated distributors. They work with a bunch of manufacturers and brands in the distribution market. And those manufacturers and brands are providing them all of the SKUs and product data for distributors like Werner to pull and put onto our website for our products.
Excellent. So you already spoke about some challenges you face, but maybe we can deep dive into this part further.
Yeah. So along with that, the manual and time-consuming efforts of getting all of that data into our PIM, we also experienced very inconsistent data. So our manufacturers like our manufacturers and then those data repositories like AD PIM, we're constantly getting new and updated data, but we didn't really have a good cadence on our end to make those updates and kind of keep everything aligned on our side. So with Quable, we don't really even have to worry about that. It's happening automatically. Our product data is more accurate and overall more complete. We also, another challenge was that we had a pretty complicated taxonomy structure. We had multiple products assigned to multiple different categories. There was a lot of confusion, a lot of misalignment in some of those areas. And so Quable has really helped to clean that up and helps to keep us a lot more organized. And then going back with that, the manual enrichment process with the limited automation. So we kind of estimated that with pulling all of those exports and cleaning of the data and doing the imports, it was about 8 hours of work a week, depending on the workload. And since then, obviously, it has been scaled way down, maybe 1 or 2 hours a week. So that's just a huge testament to how Quable has really helped us with that.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Gabriel. And on your side, Joe, did you feel that Werner's challenge were any different from your experience on this industry?
Yeah, I mean, the challenges, I think, are very common across the distributors in this industry. A lot of distributors, as you heard, leverage third-party product content from different sources, AD to name one, and ID as another one. So a lot of the product data also resides in the ERP systems, but the quality of the data is not always the best. It's not optimized for online selling. So you need this central repository where you can actually get all the data together, cleanse it, standardize it, and ultimately get it ready to use it on the web channel, but also other channels, right? One of the limitation I know, Gabi, I don't know if you mentioned it, but the PIM you had didn't really help you with any other feed other than feeding the ecom channel. So it was absolutely a great fit to think of a PIM system that is modern, that is lightweight, that brings, as you said earlier, the SaaS fully managed capability to the table, and at the same time can handle the complexities and the vast attribute sets in electrical distribution, all these aspects.
Okay, excellent. So if we sum up the objective, centralizing product information, automating data ingestion from different repositories, reduce the manual work, and of course accelerate the time to market while ensuring data reliability and scalability. That's about right, Gabi?
Yes, exactly right. Just that overall, the reducing the manual, that was our biggest concern here, and Quable did just that. So
yeah, and maybe we could also add that you don't have also an extensive team either, so it was important also for you to have a consistent and user-friendly platform. So with a very small team to be able to manage this amount of SKUs at scale.
yes, it is currently I am the PIM manager on our side. So one person, I do have a great team to support me behind the scenes, but yeah, Quable it's extremely flexible to use, and just the possibilities of integration down the line as well. we had a lot of functionality that we needed to maintain, and Quable helped us do just that.
Excellent. So now if we take a look at the solution that Quable brought, Quable and Xngage, because PIM doesn't deploy itself, and we need the support of our best agency partners. So the first one is the automated import from AD, and so Xngage built a native connector with AD. I don't know, Joe or Gabby, would like to start commenting this this slide?
I can start this off. So the number one advantage of Quable for us by far is this piece of it. Obviously, working with Xngage, they helped implement and integrate the job that pulls the AD product data directly into Quable. So we kind of beforehand matched all of our products in our PIM to very unique IDs in the AD PIM. We mapped attributes and aligned all of that up front. So when the data does come in, it's very structured, it's very consistent. So yeah, and again, biggest impact here is that efficiency and reliability.
Yeah, and from our side, it's really the familiarity with the data format, with the vast data sets that can be provided by AD. We have worked with over 2,000 AD clients, so we are very familiar with the structure of the data, and bringing that into a integration process that now we can use for Werner as an automated process really takes down the time to deal with all this data inbound, bringing it into the repository.
Excellent. Then it's clean and scalable. You were saying that you had a very complex structure and taxonomy before implementing and flowing the data from AD to Quable.
Yes. So in the electrical supply industry, products can really live in more than one category, which obviously can create a lot of inconsistency if that structure on the back end isn't really solid in our PIM. So we were kind of grabbing taxonomy from AD. We kind of had a mixture of our own. So with Xngage, we worked to audit all of that taxonomy. We identified a bunch of gaps and made sure that every product was assigned correctly. And a big part of that included resolving products that weren't sitting in that proper leaf node category, or like the lowest level category they should be living, which is kind of standard. Helps the customers on the front end of our e-commerce website and helps on the back end of organization and management on my side. So the result was just a much cleaner, more consistent structure across both our PIM and the e-commerce platform. So it really gave us the confidence that products are organized in a way that when our catalog grows, we'll be able to support that. And honestly, it really reinforced for me how important it is to get that taxonomy structure correct early, because a lot does build off of that foundation. And if you don't have that, then there's a lot more issues down the road.
Yeah, for sure. And in the end, you have also a single source of truth within your IT ecosystem when it comes to product and assets.
Yes. So obviously, Quable is now our really central place where product data and assets are all coming together. And having everything consolidated like that from all of those different data repositories and manufacturer files really gives us a clear visibility into what data we have, where it's coming from, and then also on the other side, what still needs to be enriched. So we have an easier view of product data, and then what we're missing as well. So updates are much faster, our errors are reduced, and then it really helps us to focus on improving the product quality instead of managing all of those different versions coming from multiple sources. And again, that strong foundation for when we are ready to scale and when we are ready to add more products and more data coming in, we're able to do that. So from a day-to-day perspective, it's removed a lot of uncertainty in how I personally had managed the products and the product data before. And it really gives us the confidence of what we do have in there.
Well, thank you so much for this very kind feedback, and happy to support you all the way in the upcoming challenge you will be facing as well. Now, if we talk about our collaboration with Xngage, wasn't your first time with Xngage? They have been supporting you also on your e-com approach, and so maybe you can give us little details about how Xngage smoothen the full project from A to Z, from the import of the data coming from third-party repository up to managing workflows, structuring the taxonomy within Quable, and then addressing automizing the data push on your e-com website. How did it go, and what was the length of the project?
Yeah, Xngage was extremely helpful in all of the implementation of this PIM. They really worked directly with me to gather all of the requirements. They helped implement our old PIM, so they really did have an understanding of where we were, and then also like what we were missing and where we needed to be with Quable. So that was really useful. They worked really directly with our data. They did a lot of deep diving into it, what we were missing, what they kind of needed on the back end to support this and get everything set up correctly. And they also provided a lot of like very good ideas to combat the issues that we were experiencing in our old PIM, and that Quable would help us with. So one of the big things was we started with all of our products. They helped map out all of those different attributes, match them to the AD PIM attributes, like Joe said, that they're pretty familiar with that platform and those attributes as well. So they were really the experts in that. And then I think that they had seen a lot of issues on the taxonomy side with not having products categorized down to that lowest level and the leaf node. So they really directed me and helped me with that as well. But yeah, they were really great. We've obviously had a long-standing relationship with them already, and the team was extremely helpful.
Excellent. And Joe, on your side, what's your methodology? What's the secret recipe to make successful projects? And maybe how was also the collaboration with both Werner as a customer, but also with the team at Quable, because you need also the support from the software editor?
Yeah, obviously the long-standing relationship affords us to have a great in-depth knowledge about the organization, the systems, the data, the challenges, like Gaby explained. And just from that point of view, you have an ability to add more value if you really understand that, right? And then having the expertise around the PIM side, I think we were able to get this also implemented in a very decent time frame. Sometimes PIM implementations can stretch out quite long. I think we did it in less than 5 months, but Gabi, you will check me on this. So I think it's the collaboration that we already had on all these other topics around the ERP, around the e-commerce side, just gave us a good point of strength to support also the PIM implementation. And then, of course, working with you guys was kind of new, as we have said earlier. We are your first partner in the US, and that was a fantastic, smooth process, very easy and very unbureaucratic, exactly how it needs to be for experts to perform at the highest levels.
Excellent. So you already gave us your feedback and the result, but in 3 words, maybe Gabi, we spoke about time saving, higher quality data, and future-proof architecture. Any thing come to your mind with the result of this project?
Yeah, I mean, again, that the biggest one is that time savings. I think I already mentioned the 8 hours cut down to 2. That is a significant amount of time that can be spent on, you know, other higher value improvements instead of that fixing of the data. We're also going to be doing a lot of tracking with the higher quality product data, and like our no results found on our website, and how much more frequent customers are able to find our products, since we do have that continuous source coming in, more accurate, more complete. And then, yeah, this future ready architecture we're really excited about as well, just because it can support the integration and those additional data sources. And we have Xngage and both Quable teams to help us on that side. And we have some potential extra data sources that we might start adding in this year. So yeah, Quable has been great, and I have loved it a lot. So
excellent. Well, we'll discuss little in a few minutes about your perspective in terms of upcoming challenge. Now, in terms of set of feature, what kind of features do you use mainly in the platform on a daily basis, or even though you're one superwoman team, how do you share product updates and product data monitoring within your company? It'd be interesting to know what kind of features are key for you.
Yeah. So the core of what we use in Quable today really, again, centers around that product data and the assets. On the asset management side, we do rely heavily on it to house all of our product assets. We have the automatic flow coming in from the AD PIM and our other repositories that our assets live in here, and it's been extremely easy to use. And then just having the product data and assets connected in this one place makes it
What kind
so
of
easy.
assets do you manage? Like photos, technical data sheets, I guess, from your products. Do you have any other kind of assets?
Yep. So mainly just the images and the spec sheets, and then we also just added in 360-degree spin images as well. So that's also housed in Quable.
Excellent. It's new. I didn't know about the 360 views until now.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. In terms of process and collaboration, could you give us maybe a little bit more details?
Yeah. So we're still early days in this area, but right now the structure and automation in the PIM itself has improved how efficiently, you know, we work day to day. We have workflows for if a new product is coming in, it goes into a certain area in Quable, so then we are able to review, make sure everything is looking correct. And then as we keep using Quable and mature in the platform, we're really looking into that brand portal. It's gonna kind of support a broader collaborations between our internal teams over time. Again, helping to be the single source of truth. Like, we're gonna put a lot of different things in here.
Excellent. And so you have perspective in using also our AI tools that we provide?
Yes, this is very important to us and everybody else, I'm sure, in 2026, but we'll be using the AI to help with product descriptions and structuring product data more efficiently. the like the mass upload of the AI descriptions is going to be huge for us, but I'm really excited to use this and all of the other different capabilities that Quable has to offer.
Excellent. Yes, we brought a few ones back in the last couple of months. So we are very excited to support you on this AI features as well. All right, now if we take a look at the future, your future ready. So what's next for Werner in terms of use of product data?
Yeah, so looking ahead, our focus is really to continue to build on that foundation that we've put in place and that Quable and Xngage have helped us with. And again, that includes that expanding of the automated data flows and continue to integrate additional data sources directly from manufacturers. So even more product data coming in, making it complete and consistent. We're also planning to adopt more of those advanced features, like continuing to work on the workflows and the AI to further streamline and improve efficiency. And then as we grow into the brand portal, we see a lot of opportunities here, that sales enablement piece, and then the internal content as well. Then alongside that, we'll continue internal training, maybe get some more people into the PIM. We've already started some cross training, make sure everybody's in there, everybody knows what they're doing. And then just really trying to use the platform to its fullest capability. We see Quable as a platform that can really support more than just e-commerce solutions and the product data in the PIM. So I plan to continue to really explore and try to adopt those features and as we keep evolving in our market as a company.
Sounds exciting. And okay, and last but not least, could you give us maybe for the ones who maybe ask themselves the questions whether I should move on with the PIM project or a DAM project, what's the tips that you need to have in mind before getting started?
Yeah, so my biggest advice is to really start with your data. Obviously, you're going to have a ton of messy stuff in your PIM before. So really take the time to audit and clean it up front, standardizing names of attributes, mapping out those repository connections, and getting rid of unnecessary products and assets. I know we had a lot of that. It was just stored there, living there. We weren't really using it. So life will be a little easier if you do this beforehand. Also, again, being intentional with your taxonomy and the attribute mapping. That's a foundation that needs to be extremely strong, and most people don't know that, and it will save you a lot of rework later as well. Then it's also really important to prioritize that data governance, and plan time for the cleanup. So even with automation, there's obviously always work involved in getting things perfect, and not even perfect, but just correct in some ways. So there will be time that you need to allot at the end of that to clean all of that. And then just the final words is to choose the experienced partners. Having the Xngage as a strong implementation partner, and then combined with Quable for their team and the flexible platform, it just made a really big difference in the overall success of the project. And yeah, very lucky to be able to work with and learn from both of those teams.
Thank you so much, Gabi. And also what can be also great, and I remember when we started to, even before we started the project, but even when in the phase where you selected your future PIM partner, we spend time also importing sets samples of your data so you can really play with the tool. Did that help in terms of projecting yourself in using Quable?
Yes, I thought that was extremely useful. You don't know what you don't know, so how your data kind of works within a PIM that you're not used to is really important to see firsthand. And just play around with the platform without the breaking anything really. But yes, seeing our data in Quable really kind of solidified from the start without much work to it. It was already looking really great. And yeah.
Excellent. And you on your side, Joe, would you have any recommendation as a implementation specialist? What would be your recommendation when thinking about a PIM project?
Yeah, it's always a big undertaking, but I think Gabi said the most important piece is to take the time to get it right, and that means to spend time in design, analysis of the data, analysis of the needs, getting clarity of the needs, not only in the context of maybe e-commerce, but in the context of the organization. How do different stakeholders in the organization want to work with the data? What do they need? And there could be very different answers, right? Sometimes folks are including more of the life cycle of a product. So what does this look like? And then ultimately really spending the time working through these business processes and in improving them, taking the opportunity to make an improvement. And that's, I think, half of the success. And the other is, of course, the experience piece and the ability to connect systems and get it all working. But much more important is the analysis and the governance that falls out of it at the end of the day.
True. And as a software vendor, I would also recommend that getting samples of data really help us also as specialists to project ourselves, also giving all the green lights necessary so we are sure also as a future partner to cover all the expectations of our future customers. That's very important. And also to provide a very consistent demo environment with which our customers can play. So I really, really appreciated those time. Was over a year now, but thank you so much for those concrete and positive feedback, Gabi. Joe, I don't know if you have any word before we move on to the Q&A session.
No, just wanted to say also thank you to Gabi for all the great commentary and allowing us to work together.
Thank you. So thank you all for your attention. I see here that we have a few questions. So we have Becky who's asking, how long did your data cleanup take to prep for implementing your PIM? And after implementation, what amount of time do you spend on average per week on cleaning up?
Yes, so I think for the prep of implementing our PIM, it was probably a month or two. Our data was a little messy. We didn't really have those standardized names and a bunch of different attributes. So that probably was the most time consuming there. And then for after implementation, it's very minimal. There was a little bit of just the normalizing and getting used to that data flowing in. So there was a few minor cleanups on our end, but other than that, average a week, maybe half an hour or so. We have some images that still need to be cleaned up a little bit, but not too much.
Excellent. Are there any more questions? Okay. I don't see any more questions. Maybe just checking the questions and polls. I guess we are good. If there are any questions after this webinar, we will centralize everything. We will share the replay. We will send also a form right after this webinar, so you can ask us any kind of questions, and we'll make sure we push your questions also to Gabi and to Joe, and make sure we can answer as soon as possible. On my side, I took a great pleasure in doing this webinar with you guys, and I hope you did too. I don't know if you want to say a last word before we part ways.
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to participate in the webinar as well. It's been really great to be able to work with both Quable and Xngage and share the story, because it was really great. And compared to where we were last year, it's a huge change. And yeah, just very thankful to have found Quable. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Gabi. On your side, Joe, last word.
Thanks for having me on, Baptiste. As always, looking forward to doing more of this together, and helping other clients as well, of course, and continuing the exciting trajectory that Gabi is on. And I know she wants to add many more products going forward. So excited about that.
Anytime. Well, wish you all a very good day, and hope to see you very soon.
Thanks.
See you. Bye bye,
Thank
guys.
you. Bye.